Welcome, everyone. I want to take you on a healing journey of my new show called The Valley. The Valley is a sunken mindset that affects/effects an individual emotionally, physically, psychologically, and spiritually. Being in the valley can affect how a person sees themselves, how they see the world. Feeling safe and seen is something I've always struggled with, so I wanted to create an environment/platform where all people could feel safe and feel seen. The objective is to come out of the valley, but not without doing the work. You have to fight for it. What choice will you choose when freedom is on the other side awaiting you?
Don't get me wrong, I got my flaws, I got, my problems, but at the end of the day, I'm me.
Yeah.
I accept me for who I am.
I wanted to say off record, one of the things I always respected about you was that, and this is another episode, but how you didn't allow, I don't know if we could go there, but...
Yeah, we go anywhere, go ahead.
How you didn't allow your mom not being in your life, your mom not being in your life due to drugs and all kind of different things, and your dad not being there. You didn't allow those situations to happen to you and say, oh, like, you don't hold a grudge. You've always been forgiving towards your mom and forgiving towards your dad.
Yeah.
How did that, like... How did you not allow, because me and you were just talking recently about some other family things.
Yeah.
How did you not allow yourself to get stuck in that hatred of, well, mom, you wasn't there and you chose drugs and life over me, or dad, you didn't come look for me at least.
Okay.
Like, how did you not, like, were you ever hurt? Or how was you able to forgive them?
It hurt, but the thing is, you have to learn how to heal. Because if you don't heal, you get revenge. And revenge it don't feel better when you get it.
Yeah.
Everybody say revenge is the best dish served cold. Nah, it's still nasty.
Yeah.
So like I posted something before, I said, you better, swallow that pride. Because a humble piece of pie is hard to swallow.
Yeah.
So it's like, I found out like, okay, you had your life. You try to do your best. My father had his life. He tried to do his best.
Yeah.
Who am I to hold you against the way you lived? I'm still out here trying to figure out life just how you was. You were trying to figure out life. So how can I make you feel guilty to try to figure out how you were trying to figure out your life and how you should handle me? And
I think that's grace, though. And that comes with growing up with wisdom, because you start realizing, like, they're just people, just like us,
like me.
That just so happen to have us.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel any negativity towards dark-skinned black men?
I won't say I felt any way negative towards them. I
mean, like, did you ever feel any negativity towards them, towards you? Like,
no.
You ever felt any hatred towards any black? Like, you ever felt like some dark-skinned boys just probably didn't like you or didn't want to, like, be cool with you?
Of course, because like I said, I had the label pretty boy. I used to take date girls. And it's not that I wanted to, that I tried. It's just that they flocked to me. I got them the good hair. The lighter skin. So, we have a baby. Like I said, they only wanted me for the babies. Or we gonna have a baby with the good hair. They only wanted me for that. So, of course, I had plenty of dark-skinned men wanting to fight me. Just because I took their girl.
Right.
And I'm like, I didn't want to take your girl. Your girl just came to me. And I don't even like your girl. So, like, I don't want that. So it's like, you can have her back, so why you want to fight me for it? I'm not trying to fight you for it. But the thing is, I got hatred, but did I have any hatred towards them? No. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, how did black dark-skinned women treat you? Or was you ever interested in dark-skinned black women? Because when people, if anybody saw your kids, all your kids are
a little lighter, yeah. Well, but you would look at my kids, you'd be like, all of them are light-skinned. But when you look at their mothers, all of them are dark-skinned. They're brown to dark-skinned. And the thing is, the reason why I am in love, I'm infatuated with dark-skinned women. So I learned this from my godmom. My godmom is African.
Yeah.
So she told me when I was younger, she said, never go after the pretty girls because they would have the nastiest attitude and treat you terribly. But you could go after an ugly female a person. Not saying that she was ugly, but she said you can go after the less attractive female, and they would treat you like a king. Because sometimes they feel unaccepted, so they would treat you like a king, so you could treat them like a queen. So I started not going after the lighter skinned females because in their mind they're considered the pretty girl. And it's not that I have any ill will towards a light skinned woman, but I don't find them sexually attractive. I find a darker skinned woman sexually attractive because it's like I want to treat them how they want to treat me. They want a king, I want a queen.
Got you.
So,
and even when you said something about the less attractive, I realize now it don't matter what you look like. If a person ain't good to you, they ain't good.
They ain't good to you.
Less attractive or beautiful or anything like that. I think about when I was younger, hating my dark skin, right?
Okay.
My mom is light brown skin, your sister. My dad is light brown skin. I just couldn't, and I told myself I wanted to have an episode with another dark-skinned person and talk about our experiences. I remember telling myself, like, in my mind, when I have kids, I would rather my kids be lighter-skinned.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to, and not that I ever looked at, like, dark-skinned girls, or, to me, it really didn't matter. But I think as I did get older, when it came down to light skin stuff, light skin, dark skin, it did really affect me.
Yeah.
Because again, dark skinned people, even if you look in the world, when it comes to dark skinned black people, you see the Beyoncés, the Cardi B's, and I'm not saying these people aren't talented. You get what I mean? I don't really listen to that music, but it's the white privilege. You get what I'm saying? And whether people believe it or not, it does matter. You get what I'm saying? If you're lighter, like it does make room for you.
Yeah.
And like it was talking about the blue vein situation, blue vein society. Like some Caucasian or other cultures may accept a lighter skinned black person. You get what I'm saying? More so than a dark skinned black person, but that also varies too, and it depends on the person. But I remember being a kid and telling myself, like, yo, when I have kids, my kids are gonna be light skinned or lighter skinned, because I never want them to go through the self-hatred that I had went through. Because again, I never hated myself until people started hating me. I never thought I was ugly until people said, you're ugly, you're black, you're burnt, you're tar. So I took on the lies and the stuff that people said to me, and
it made it your persona, who you are.
I made, this is who I am, I'm this and that. And then as I got older, I had to get therapy, not because of those things, but in therapy, you're discovering things about yourself and, you know, the things that you got to work on. I feel like I'm still working on it, you know. But I definitely don't hate myself now. But I remember being a kid and thinking in my mind, when I have kids, I'm going to have kids with a lighter skin. It didn't necessarily have to be a light-skinned kid, but I just wanted my kids to be lighter than I was. Because I didn't want them to go through, because I automatically thought to myself, you know, they're not going to feel the same way that I felt. Because I remember talking to my dad about something, and I remember him looking at me like, it was nothing he really could do, you know, but talk to me, but it was certain things that I couldn't grasp. I couldn't change it, but I feel like I couldn't change it. So it's almost as if the things that people said to me, it became the gospel. Yeah. You get what I mean? So even though my dad trying to talk to me and telling me, and my mom saying stuff, it was just like I believe the other people's voices became louder than my own mother, my parents. That's why I love the scripture where it talks about God saying, like, you're wonderfully and fearfully made. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's telling you all, you know, the beautiful attributes of who you are. You get what I mean? And I feel like when God look at us, he looks at us like, he looks at our heart, he looks at who we could be, he looks at us, really who we are. And I don't think skin complexion matters to him. I think that's a world thing. You get what I mean? I definitely think that's a world thing.
It is.
What would you, how do you basically feel like, in general, like, how do you think we could like, how do we fix this whole light skin, dark skin situation? Because, like I said, you see it in so many different races. You see it in the media and in television. You'll see, you know, on these shows, the Basketball Wives and all of these different things where people talking about the housewives, about colorism and how the dark skinned, brown skinned woman, she's the aggressor. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, these words that's on, oh, this person is, they're dark, they're brown, they're angry. You get what I mean? So it's just like, where do you think it's like steps to like correcting that, and how do we heal from this?
We can heal by having a conversation.
Yeah.
Like how me and you are having right now. The thing is, I had to understand your point of view of how you felt towards me. And I had to understand how I felt. You had to understand how I felt towards you.
Yeah.
I didn't have any hatred towards the dark-skinned man. I didn't have it.
Yeah.
They might have it towards me because of the privilege they assume that I have, or they feel like the opportunities that I might have is probably better than the opportunities they could have. But the thing is, it starts with the conversation.
Yeah.
And then it also starts with the self-love. And then once you have the self-love, then you can start loving the other person. Because they got to understand, whether you're black, Indian, Chinese, Spanish, Haitian, or West Indies, whatever, you got to realize we all one people under God's umbrella, under his love. So at the end of the day, we all one race. That's the human race.
And we all hurt.
We all hurt.
We all bleed.
We all bleed the same.
We all get sick.
We all get sick.
We all have doubts and fears and anxiety. And
we all
no matter
under
what
one,
our skin
we
is.
all are one people.
Right.
One people. One human race. Everybody say, oh, what's your race? What's your nationality? I'm black or whatever. Man, I'm human. And I'm God's child. That's what I am. So that's my nationality. I'm God's child. Like I said the other day when I said I don't want to be called a tourist because that's my that's my sign. I don't want to be a tourist no more. I'm Christian.
Yeah.
That's my sign.
I wanted to know what are some things that you might, you know, give to your children. You get what I'm saying about these type of situations where they may feel like their lighter skin is more superior, or they may feel their lighter skin, they have more perks, or like you said, people might want to get with them because they want the quote unquote good hair. And it goes back to that, what's considered good hair? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, what is considered?
Like, what, you feel me?
Because me, I love a woman with natural hair.
Yeah.
I don't have no problem with the weave or the braids. I don't have a problem with that. You wear what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
But to me, I'd rather a woman show me her true self. So when it comes to my kids, I let them know you ain't better than nobody.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's always somebody that's better than you in something. It's always going to be somebody that's smarter than you in something. It's always going to be somebody that could do something better than you.
Yeah.
So you ain't never better than anybody.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you have to have your self-love. Like I said, self-love. I love myself, so I try to teach my kids to love yourself. Yeah. Once you love yourself, then you can love somebody else. Right. So how can you treat the world differently when you don't even love yourself? Right. So it's self-hatred when you treat people differently. Yeah. It's your own self-hatred towards yourself. That's why you treat other people the way that you treat them, because that's how you feel about yourself. Right. So when you treat someone with love and respect and honesty and loyalty and all that, then you can start realizing how your life is better for yourself. Right. So I try to teach my kids, love yourself first. Yeah.
And I think it definitely starts like in childhood, because you see so many situations where the lighter skinned girls are being attacked by the dark skinned little girls. You get what I mean? Because this stuff starts early on.
It starts off in the house.
Where the light skinned girl said, oh, well, the dark-skinned girl, like who attacked you? And they be like, oh, the dark-skinned girl. Nah. You get what I mean? And then they like say, oh, well, she thought she was all that, or but it's like early on as little kids, like,
it's
and that's why I think like it's taught,
it's taught in the house.
And even when sometimes you'll see like you might see a bunch of, like you said, kids that might be dark-skinned, and then one kid might be light skinned. You like look at like Keisha Cole's family. You get what I mean?
Most of her sisters are darker.
Right, they're darker. But I'm pretty sure I don't know, but I'm just saying people sometimes they may praise the light. Oh, she's beautiful. And it's like, well, what's everybody? You get what I'm saying? And people don't realize that even as a child, it can cause division.
Of
It can
course.
cause insecurities in other children because it's like, wait, I don't look like that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? For me, when I was a kid and I'm looking at Tiffany, my sister, she's getting praised for her beauty. Tiff is brown, but she wasn't chocolate like I was. Tunchi is on a lighter skin, so I'm seeing Tunchi get praised for his him being handsome, his beauty, and I'm just like, I'm the dark one. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
But that's the way you seen it.
That's the way I saw it.
You seen Tunchi feel like he was praised for his color skin. But the thing is, Tunchi's just a talented brother.
yeah,
He was getting praised for his talents. But to you, might be, like I said, your self-hatred. You might feel towards Tunchi like, oh, you're getting praised because you're light skinned. I got the same abilities you got. But the thing is, it's just your self-hatred. So, well, like my advice to you is, I'm saying now, now you love yourself
Yeah,
at the end of the
course.
day. So it's like back then, if I knew that of you, I could have said that to you back then. Like, yo, Tucci's getting praised for his brains, the way he moves, and the way he elevated his own life. Just how you are. That's why I tell you all the time. Like when I see you move, even though we're the same age, you're older than me by a couple months and all that, basically a year, but a couple months. I tell you all the time, like, I'm proud of you, and you motivated me to do better for myself. So it's like, they always say, an old dog can learn new tricks. So I'm learning how to excel my life through the way you're moving.
Wow.
So it's like,
yeah,
I'm trying to figure my life out. Like, I know what I'm doing and all that, but I'm trying to figure it out. So, like I said, I still have self-awareness of who I am and what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I want to make sure my family's good. That's my end goal. My family's good. And being loved at the same time.
And this is why I say, like, even with my relationship with you, me and you, we really chopped it up when you came back in town and you moved back to the city, and we had a really good conversation, and I felt like me and you we haven't talked like that probably since we was like younger.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So it was just like when me and you talked, we sat down, broke bread, and you were talking to me, it really, I was just like, wow, like, I matter to you, you feel me? You matter to me, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, we needed to talk as men, and I realized, like, too, like, again, like, I realized in that moment, like, dang, my uncle, because even though you are my uncle, I'm like, this she, you get what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
me,
this
it's
family.
she.
So it's just
Everybody,
like, so it's like, I felt like, yo, my family, he got my back. And like you said, bro, like, little, you should have told me, and we had conversations about high school, how I got robbed and all that in high school.
I say you should have
told
told
me.
me.
Like, yo, you should have. And I was just like, I never realized that that mattered. You get what I'm saying to you? You know what I mean? Like, you was like, I was supposed to be your go-to. And I'm like, wow, like, I'm just listening. Like, that's why it's so important to have conversations. But being your nephew, I never felt like you made me feel like you were better than me because you were light skinned. You feel what I'm saying? I never felt that way with my uncle Naeem or Thais. Like, they never made me feel like, oh, we're better than you because we're lighter skinned.
Yeah,
and one thing I can
you.
say about our family, like, a lot of my family on that side,
we got our issues.
Yeah,
we
of course,
our
issues. But I'm saying, as far as like the beauty, like a lot of Naeem kids are on the light skin spectrum. They're beautiful. They look Spanish and black. But they never made me feel like
an
I mean,
outcast.
of course, when we kids, they
We
say
call
little
like you
stuff.
black, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm saying, like, we're family though,
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter.
We
if
can
you're
say
like,
what we want to you,
right?
But nobody on the outside circle can say anything. If you say something, you got to deal with all of us.
Exactly.
So we're even though we got our issues, we still tight knit.
We family.
We family. At the end of the day, I can say whatever I want to you, and you can feel the type of way, you can whatever. But let somebody else say something to you.
Yeah.
Now you got a problem with me.
And it's so crazy that one time when I tell you this, I was like, yo, you always had this more I be in my head sometimes. Remember I told you we was little?
Yeah.
I was trying to sell some candy. And I remember being on Oakland Street in Trenton, and I was just like, dang, I want to sell this candy, but I was so afraid of rejection.
Yeah.
So early on, I had always had this rejection, this fear of people.
Yeah.
And I remember you were just like, I'll take it and sell it. And I remember just from the window, like, I'm looking at you and like you selling candy and you getting it. And I remember when you came back and you were like, here, and it wasn't, and I remember feeling like, wow, because you went to go do something that I couldn't do. And then it wasn't like, oh, well, I want something. You like, here, like you was willing to give me.
It's not mine.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
here go all of your.
I have a strong mindset when it comes to family. I'm very big on family. So like the day when you got robbed and you didn't want to tell me.
Right.
You told someone that knew me and that person told me. And I jumped in your car and said, take me where they was at. And the thing is, I'm about family. So you hurt my family, you hurt me. So I'm going to have to come after you too. So now you got to hurt me just as much as you hurt my family. So let's see if you get there. Let's see if you can hurt me. Because if you don't, I'm going to hurt you. So it's just that mentality. I'm always going to have that mentality. Like I ride hard for family. So like, you know, my family, I'm always going to be that person. You can come talk to me.
Yeah.
I might not be the most wise. I might not be the most, you know, upfront person. Well, I'm going to always be upfront with you. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it honest with you. I have no filter when it comes to my mouth. I'm going to tell you how I feel and then care about your feelings after. So it's you're going to love me and hate me at the same time because I'm going to be translucent with you. You're going to feel me, you're going to understand me, and then you're going to love and hate me at the same time. So at the end of the day, like I said, I am strong on family values. So when my family go through it, I'm like, at the end of the day, we family.
Yeah.
But y'all ain't gonna say nothing else. I don't let outside people talk about my family.
For sure.
Yeah.
Before we get into the heart/heal work, I want to know, have you ever had a valley experience? What was it, and how did you overcome it?
What you mean?
Like one of your sunken moments, one of your low points in your life. Can you describe a time where you felt like at a low moment in your life? I call it the valley.
Okay.
And how was you able to overcome one valley moment in your life, one sunken place, one moment in your life where you was like, yo, like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to come up from this. And then how were you able to overcome the valley?
Okay. I could say with my kid's mother, living in New York, that was my most stressful time of my life. You know, yeah, everybody said you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. You know, that's the motto. And I struggled living in New York, where I didn't have any support system. I was out there by myself. She had every support system in the world, but somehow we were still struggling. So it was like, that was my sucking place where I felt like I'm so used to going out and getting it. I'm so used to providing for myself. Now I'm providing for somebody else. So it was like, I didn't know how to do that at a young age. So that was my sunken place where I didn't know what to do. But after a while, you know, I put my head down, I prayed, what's my purpose?
Yeah.
And, you know, me and her didn't work out. Like, you know, I prayed, what's my purpose to God? Me and her broke up. So that wasn't my purpose. I wasn't supposed to be with her. So, but yeah, we got kids, but that's my relationship with her now. You're just my kid's mother. I respect you because you're that, but once I move away from that situation, God moved me away from that situation, I started excelling. I start, you know, feeling the energy, my positive mindset came back. Like, sooner or later, when you're in certain type of situations, you lose who you are.
Yeah.
And I lost.
Especially when you're not with the person you're
not supposed to be. They
with.
could drain you so much to the point where you don't even realize that you're drained.
And you don't even recognize who
you are.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at myself like, this is not the Sheed I know. And one thing that really got to me when we came down here to Trenton, me and my ex, you know, my kid's mother, we came down here and my mom said, where's the drive? Where's your drive? And I'm like, what you talking about? You had so much drive in your life. Like, nobody can tell you anything. Where's your drive? I'm like, I still got it. but it just right now I'm trying to make someone else happy.
Why?
And that's my sunken place.
Yeah.
I let someone I try to determine myself. I left who I was to make someone else happy.
Why though?
Because at the end of that day, at that time in my life, I wanted to feel love. I was fighting for it. So when you're fighting for something, you go hard for it. In my mind, I was trying to make her happy, but nothing I did was satisfying. So when you get down in that moment, you be like, okay, how am I gonna make this person happy? And I tried everything, like everything.
And you know what's so crazy when I think about that? I was watching this video, and it was a woman. She was talking to her son, and she had like a cup, and it was like a hole in it, and she kept pouring.
And it just
she
kept on leaking.
basically talked, and it kept leaking. Did you see it?
Nah, I know the concept. It just kept on leaking.
And she basically talked about there's people in this life, right? And I'm not adding or taking away from your experience because that was your experience. So I don't want to say anything negative about your kid's mother. I'm just speaking of a general thing. There's some people in this life that no matter how much you love them, how much you pour into them, it will never be enough. I remember TD Jake said this. It's like, and I think I said this on my last show. It's like you're loving on a gallon size, right? And then there's people who are like quarts, like them little milks you get in the school.
Yeah.
And they're loving on a quart size, you know what I mean? And you're loving on a gallon size. And it's just like, it doesn't match up because your capacity to love somebody, is different.
Yeah.
So a lot of us, we have these gallon size hearts, and we're giving them to people that have pint size hearts and pint size abilities to love. So whenever you're pouring into people,
it never overflows.
It never overflows. You've left feeling empty. So be mindful, you guys. And this is coming from a dark skinned male, and this is also coming from a light skinned male. So it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter that I'm black and you're light.
We go through the same thing.
through the same stuff. And if we able to get past ourselves and our mind, you get what I'm saying, and stop allowing society to tell us what is beauty and what's not, and we begin to love ourselves. Because like you said, guess what? When I moved here 3 years ago, I looked myself in that mirror over there and I said, you're going to start loving yourself. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't about what society deemed beautiful. It wasn't about what nobody else felt towards me. It was about me loving me, and how I started loving me when I started understanding like better who God was. Like I had to go there. And even with this, I believe that having a conversation, we got to take everything back to God. You get what I mean?
Of course.
So I want to say some heart/heal work. So before I go on this, is there anything that you want to say, while we're about to come to a close? Like, do you want to say anything to anything that you may have on your heart? Anything? Would you like to look into the camera and say anything to
Only thing
anybody?
I gotta say to everybody is find self-love. Self-love is overpowering. When you feel it, you will understand, you will grow from it. Put God first.
Yeah. God's love first.
God's first. God loves first, and then you'll find the self-love in God's love.
Yes.
So once you find that, your life will excel to moments where you don't even understand or even be able to fathom how life feels.
Yeah.
You'll start understanding true peace and quiet.
I love that. So I like to give my guests some flowers or whatever. So my flowers, again, is different for everybody, but I had got you something. It's a book or whatever. It's like a daily devotion for men or whatever.
Okay.
I think it'd be nice. It's something you could read for the next year. You can start tomorrow all the way up until next October.
Yeah.
And it's just something, it's daily wisdom for men. It was something that I read. I have one. Mine is actually a different one, and I felt like this could be something that could be useful.
Thank you.
For you.
Yeah, I'm going to start reading this. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's for you. So let's get into some of this heart/heal work. Pray more, worry less. Therapy. I think therapy would be good.
Yeah.
Quiet time with God and yourself. Accountability. Open up more with people you feel safe with.
Yeah.
Go to Texas and meet your family. Get all the kids together as much as you can. Make it a priority to spend time with family, siblings, nieces and nephews, and people you care about. Draw closer to God / Jesus. forgive those who hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real big thing on my show, is about forgiveness, you know, because it frees us, you know. And I remember hearing this constantly from people. Being in prison, I was at Justin, our cousin Justin, his funeral. The guy said, when I was in jail, the worst thing wasn't being in prison. The worst thing was being a prisoner of my own mind.
Yeah.
Because you could be here and still be in prison.
Of course.
And have unforgiveness and deal with all kind of things. So forgive, you know, be free from all of that. Enjoy your life and make yourself happy. I really want to see, you know, you be happy and you loving on you. And then when God see fit, you know, he'll bring that person he's supposed to bring in your life or whatever. So thank you so much, you get what I'm saying, for coming on the show. I'm really grateful that you came. I'm thankful.
I'm happy I came.
Yeah, that we talked about this episode, and I'm really, really grateful. So listen, you guys, thank you so much, you guys, for coming on the Valley Podcast. I love you guys. Make sure you guys, again, you like, make sure you guys comment, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys hit the notification button. I'm really, really thankful for this episode. This is really dear into my heart about colorism. You guys, let's heal. We can heal from anything through God. Again, make sure you guys get my book, Trauma Heal People, The Work is in the Healing. This is a healing podcast. Listen, we're healing, we're growing, we're evolving, we're becoming better people each and every day. It's possible. And if nobody told you, it's possible to change. You know, you heard the saying before, if you change your mind, you can change your life. Until next time, you guys. See you. Take care.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited to announce to you all that my first book, Trauma Healed People, The Work is in the Healing, is available right now on barnesandnobles.com and amazon.com. Go get you a copy now. What are you waiting for?